as we've continued this series, Porno, and as we conclude it today, we're going to look at the parallel of unreal wants versus real love. No matter where you're at or where you're standing as a single adult, as a student in the home, as a married adult, as possibly a widow or a widower, God has a specific plan and a design for what true love is to be, what it's supposed to look like, what it's all about. And whether you're here or at another campus or watching this message at brandnewchurch.com, I want to encourage you to engage in what the Spirit of God is getting ready to state for you and in your life. See, porn or pornea creates unreal wants and a desire that is not God-given. God has given us a specific direction on His plan for this word, L-O-V-E. And here is what He says. It's found in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. For many of us, it's very familiar. And here's what it says in verse number 1. If I speak in the tongue of men and of angels, but have not love, I'm only a resounding gong and a clanging cymbal. Look at this. If I have the gift of prophecy, in other words, if I know a bunch about the Bible, if I am extremely blessed in my knowledge of God and I go to church all the time, and then he goes on to say this, and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have faith that can move mountains, in other words, if I am really, really Spirit-filled and spiritually driven, but I have not love, look what it says, I am nothing. The first thing that defines true love is this. True love doesn't care how spiritual you are. Just because you feel like that you and God are in some close connection, listen, the only way you're in close connection is if your spouse, if your parents, if those closest to you, if your co-workers are seeing love in action. They don't want to know you go to church. They don't want to know you have faith that can move mountains. They want to see the difference, which is real love. Your kids don't want to know how bad you used to have it and how spiritual you really are. They want to see real love. This passage goes on and says this, love is patient. What does that mean? It means that you need to become a patient. It means you need to be able to lay on God, the great physician's table, and when you lay there, you're able to say, God, do whatever it takes. I'm not giving up. We don't lay on the doctor's table and they say, oh, you've got cancer, and then you say, well, just kill me. I'm done with this. There's no way I can go on. I know it's just a hangnail. Go ahead, take me out. You're not going to do that. Oftentimes in your relationship and in your marriage, it's just a hangnail and you're ready to go ahead and have someone take you out. Just take me home, God. You want to give up instead of having an attitude of a patient, being patient, saying, God, I am willing no matter what it takes to work through this relationship, the relationship with my parents, the relationship with you as a single adult, whatever it is. God is asking you and I to get on that table and be patient. Don't give up. Don't say just because you don't understand it, you're giving up. No, I'm not giving up. Love is patient. Check out what it says next. It says love is kind. What does that mean? It means that love demonstrates love to others before himself or herself. Man, that is true love. That's kindness. We live in a me society. And possibly even in your home, it's all about me. I want my way. I want my stuff. I want you to understand my situation. Listen, love is kind. It's not always totally pointing everything back to me. It's saying, I love others more than myself. And then it says this, love does not envy. What does that mean? It means this, it does not want what it cannot have. Well, if you were more like this, if I could just have this, if my kids were this way, well, if my parents provided this, if I could get the stuff my friends have. No, love does not envy. It's not something that is constantly envious of what someone else has. Well, if I had a relationship like that, if I had a situation like that, if I was married to a person like that, then this. No, love does not want what someone else has. It is not envy. Look what else love does not do. It does not boast. It doesn't say, told you so. Told you so. I mean, I knew you were going to fail. I knew it was going to happen. I knew you were going to go back to the way you were. Told you so. Oh, man, I knew I was right. You're wrong. I mean, I told you so. I told you it was going to happen that way. That is not God's plan. Love does not boast and say, I told you so. Love isn't proud. And I've got to be completely honest, man, this is a huge battle in my life. The issue of pride. Love isn't proud. Oh, well, I'm right, you're wrong. It doesn't have a swelled head where you're always feeling like I've got it together. Listen, the person that you love and those that you desire to influence with God-shaped love doesn't care how proud you are. They reject that head that is swelled up. That pride that makes you stick out your chest incorrectly. They want to see humility. This is God's plan for real love. Love, look what else it says, is not rude. It's not rude. Can you imagine in your relationships if you would just take this simple truth and become sensitive to the feelings of other people? Can you imagine how your relationships would be with your parents, students? Can you imagine how your relationships would be with your co-workers, single adults? Love is not rude. How rude are you? Maybe you ought to have your spouse share that. Maybe you ought to ask your spouse, your kids. Rude. Love is not rude. Love is not, look at this, self-seeking. It isn't always saying me first. Love isn't self-seeking. It's so amazing how it always becomes about us, our desires, our way, our situation. Love is always self-seeking. No, it's never self-seeking. One of the greatest hurdles that is regularly found in our marriage, in Cindy and I's marriage, is the issue of self. Love is not self-seeking. It's not about you. It's about Him, Jesus Christ. Check this one out. Love is not easily angered. Hello. Some of you just got ticked off because that was mentioned. You're like, man. Love's not easily angered. Are you the type of person that regularly flies off the handle? That's not true love. Well, every time I mention something to him, he just jumps up. No, listen, that is not true love. Love does not fly off the handle easily.